Hey, chat.
What's up, chat?
What's up, chat?
Boom! Number
Hey,
one
Boom.
chatter. Love it. I hope you're having a great day, Boom.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I got my audio monitor going. Okay. I got YouTube up today. I'm gonna try to pay attention to YouTube chat. This is gonna be
We
great.
say that every time.
I know. That's why I say it every time. I'm gonna eventually remember, and I will pay attention to YouTube chat. I promise you today, YouTube. I'm gonna pay attention to you.
So, Boom, what have you been working on?
I'm gonna turn you down just a smidge, Tony, so I don't hot mic you through my stuff. What's up, Kitch? Boombox, yo.
That's cool. I love me a boombox.
Is it like a 80s, 90s style with like two huge subs in it?
Big old blaster.
Double cassettes in the middle? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys
Sick.
ever have a boombox and play the radio and then pop in a cassette tape to record your favorite song and make your mixtapes? Because I
You
miss
know
those
how
days.
old Vince is?
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm 40, yes. Do you know how many mixtapes I have? Okay,
I
wait.
have a cassette player. I don't
So
have all my
for-
old cassettes from when I was a kid, though, which sucks, but I did buy a bunch of new ones.
Since we're on that, my very first piece of music that I owned as a human being, that was my music that I wanted to get, was a cassette tape, because I was that old, or that young, rather. And it was not a full album. It was the single for MC Hammer's Too Legit. So it was just
That's a great one,
tape
though.
with 12 versions of Too Legit to Quit on it. It's so weird. And I would just play that shit on loop over and over again. I'd be like, Too Legit, to Quit.
You mean play it through, rewind it all the way to the beginning,
Yes,
and then play it through again?
Well,
But-
you flip it over. You're like, I'd go to the B-sides after that. But yeah.
Oh, okay, of course. Yeah.
So much effort.
What's up, Omni? Thanks for coming through. We're talking about being old and cassette singles.
For the days of YouTube and Spotify, man.
Oh,
When
Anna, thank you so
MTV
much.
would play music videos after midnight until like 6 in the morning, those were the best.
Mm-hmm. When MTV played music videos, you mean? When it was actually
Yeah.
MTV?
Yeah.
Now it's just Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness and then like real world.
That's still happening.
Yes, dude. I
Oh my
actually I
They're on, like,
watched it
season
and I want to.
41 or some shit. I saw it.
Isn't he like
a couple
60
weeks ago.
now?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They've
It's
like
very
never
weird,
stopped
yeah.
making episodes, and they're just like keep cranking the seasons out. And the number of seasons that they have, like I saw it kind of recently, and I was like, that cannot be true. And I guess it is.
Yeah, it's
That's wild.
still going now, and I like watched it recently because I like stupid internet clips and I like turning my brain off. So like I'll put that on and I'll go like play Balatro on my laptop or something like that. So
he's
yeah,
good.
And Rob
Anna,
Dyrdek is like, I really appreciate that dude. I think he is really awesome, and
Yep.
he, got to do all of the cool skateboarding and stuff that I think he
Yeah.
wanted to do as like a kid growing up, but made it into like an actual career, and he just gets to live the coolest life, it seems like. So
Totally.
Anna
He is
said
good, though.
mixtapes were the best, and I just wanted to acknowledge that and share. Yeah, we were talking about recording radio stations with a cassette player and like ripping stuff to make a mixtape that way. It was
As
awesome.
we're old.
Yeah. What do we got? What do we got for today? So yesterday we did Destiny things. And what we're going to do today is we're going to dive into our dev stream. Normally on Wednesdays we do dev stream. But today, hey, no worries, Anna. I'm 40. So I know I don't look it. I'm an old man. I have old man back. So don't worry. I'm with you. But yeah, so today we're going to do some dev stuff. And we're going to revisit a project that we've talked about multiple times. But we've never actually shown you guys. And we didn't even walk Christina through it yet. So this will be like Christina's first impressions.
Yes, blind react.
Yeah, and I think the first time or the last time we worked on the project was in December, something like that. So this is our first game that we started making called Weird Candy. So we're going to show you guys the prototype stages and where we are. We're going to talk through the process and give you guys the peek behind the curtain for like how Game Studio would work. So we're basically going to have a meeting about the project status, look at it, plan our next steps, and talk about the next things we need to build and what our milestones are. So hopefully it'll be entertaining to you guys. I've never seen anyone who makes games do a stream like this where they just show you the process, and like, so that's kind of the idea. I hope it goes well. If it's shit, we'll probably not do it again. If you guys like it, please tell us. But that's kind of the direction we're going in today. This game is called Weird Candy. I guess I could just launch into a spiel about it. Yeah. Do you want me to do that, Tony, while you get stuff going?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I'll probably have the headset on a lot today, so go ahead.
Yeah, awesome. So Weird Candy is a physics-based sort of like chill puzzle experience in VR. I've gone over a bunch of different pitches for this. I've talked about this game. This is the thing that I was carrying as like our flagship in the pitches when we were looking for funding last year. All kinds of stuff. So I have a lot of information about it in my head. My pitch is probably going to change multiple times, but I'm just going to talk you guys through it. So everybody who's played VR, and if you've played the most popular titles of VR, you're going to play, something like Super Hot or Beat Saber or, Job Simulator. They're all very physical, and you need to be standing and moving around and doing a bunch of stuff. There's only really a couple games that have sort of approached the space of like, VR is different, and it shouldn't be just a mirror of real life, but you're underwater, So that's where we're going with Weird Candy, is we want to make something that you could only experience in VR. Like, the game would not work if it weren't in VR. And to that end, one of our core pillars is a chill seated experience. Imagine you're adrift in a sea of stars. You're in the cosmos. So think like the beginning of No Man's Sky when it's loading and you've got the star field whipping by you, but you're stationary. You're at, equilibrium. It's meant to be very chill and peaceful. Imagine you're in the solar system and you see these objects, moving by you, and they're real size or as close, as we balance this as possible. So hand wavy designer language here, real size, right? Imagine you're looking at an object that's bigger than your house, right? It's an impossibly large thing, but you can interact with it, manipulate it, and your goal is to take this planet or push any of the objects. You can knock them out of their orbits, and they collide with the other celestial objects. So say it's the solar system. You push Pluto out of its orbit. Pluto hits Neptune, hits Uranus. They fall into Jupiter. Jupiter is now this massive thing moving around through the I skipped Saturn, but it's now moving through the system closer towards, the sun, gobbles up the inner planets, falls into the sun. The sun goes into a singularity, it goes into a black hole and supernovas, and you're experiencing all this in VR. So think a little bit of like physics puzzle game, kind of like golf in an asymmetric, you take a turn, you're like, I did my shot, whatever, or like pool or playing darts. So that's what this game is, but a little bit of Katamari, where you're trying to return the universe to a singularity. So I'll do a bit of the story pitch now. You're an avatar of cosmic will, and sentient life has disrupted the balance of, the universe. All of mass and matter has been spread out and distilled into different things by sentient life. So your goal is to return the universe to the singularity so that balance of nature can be restored. So a little bit of Katamari in that regard, where the prince is collecting all these things to create new stars. So that was where the inspiration came from in that regard. A lot of that is probably really confusing and hard to visualize. So we can probably just hop into taking a look at some things now. If you're ready, Tony, it's up to you.
Absolutely.
Sick.
I'll just start by putting it up on the screen here. So let's do that one.
Nice.
Alrighty.
So where we left this last was functional prototype. So in talking about this pitch with Tony and saying like, this is the type of thing we should build because it's really cool. Tony was basically like taking it on faith. He's like, this is a crazy fucking idea. I'm going to have to program like actual physics. And I was like, yeah, I think so. And he's like, okay. And then he dove into it. Got it fucking working. So we have very rudimentary controls so we can manipulate the planets and the other things that we want to manipulate. We've got a sun. We have a working model of the solar system. It's not fully stable, but it's at least like, we can fudge it a little bit. The gas giants consume other planets, rocky planets shatter and break apart. We don't really have like a unified thing. We just have a couple test cases of prototypes for that, and we cut some videos and stuff for it. But yeah, so there's a few ideas around that. And then the sun singularities, we've got that working too.
Again, we haven't been in this project for a while, so I'm trying to remember where some of this stuff is. But yeah, there's lots of different things that we've been making over time that are in here that just are all the different systems and different ideas that we wanted to kind of put together. So I'm just gonna kind of click around here, and we're gonna kind of all see what we see together here to some extent.
The that cool blue like dome force field looking thing is our prototype concept for a mini map. So if you're thinking about how the thing I just described is like this, all these things flying around you, like how are you possibly going to keep track of that shit if it's at like real scale and you see Jupiter flying by you and it's bigger than your house? It's just the gigantic object, ripping by overhead. How can you possibly like move or aim that or get yourself over to a space where you can watch all the crazy shit going on? So we had this concept for this idea, like a mini map. So it's like a little holographic representation of the system that you're working in.
I'm gonna find a working one here. This one might be, yeah, here we go. Oh, except turn this one into a teleporter. That's right.
Nice. I like that thing. So yeah, I think that looked like your shader for the singularity effect.
Well, the idea, and I was remembering what we were doing here. So in this level currently, if I believe that this is a sun, and when this hits its critical mass point, the last thing we were kind of doing is prototyping that, like finishing the level experience. So you'll see when I sim, this goes in. Now that turned into a black hole as soon as it ate that thing because it went over the mass limit. That we had also set up to turn the mini map into the teleporter. So since you would be on this platform, when you would walk in here, now it would take you to the next level. And that does technically work if I put the headset on and do it. I just have to restart the editor. But yeah, you can see the eating kind of happening over here. I can make this guy actually look like the sun rather than this debug material that we have on it. And, let's mess around and make this one the earth maybe. There we go. And yeah, you'll see when I hit sim, sun eats the earth. And yeah, right now, again, this is kind of a debug material. You can see it's actually a black hole. It's like bending the light and stuff around it.
That's really cool.
And then yeah, this guy over here is also a black hole. And I did pull up a bunch of files here that I think we've recorded a ton of stuff over time that probably kind of shows some of this stuff off a little better than I can do it live right here. So I'm just trying to find some of these cooler looking ones. Let's see. Yeah, so we have like this video right here where you can see the sun kind of go through this like more intricate black hole animation that we'd made.
I really like this. So it's important to note these are not the best visuals, but that's okay because neither of us are artists like in this regard. So we had to learn how to make all this shit just to get the high level concept across. So it's really fucking cool. Like Tony dove into like shaders and like started learning how visual effects work, and he got some asset packs, which is normal. That's what we do. And then he modified some asset packs to work in the way he wanted them to.
Yep. And like we were talking about too, one of the major kind of lifts of this project so far has been gravity. This project does, for the most part, kind of simulate gravity the way that it actually works in real life. The masses of all of the objects themselves kind of have influence over one another. I'll find a good example here. This is probably one. But yeah, so we have a sun here, and you can see this guy's just falling straight into it. And these guys had some initial momentum that kind of started them in an orbit. And if they touch, they'll get consumed by it because that's how it's set up. But you'll see this is all just kind of a real-time physical simulation where it's just kind of the momentum trying to pull them in with the gravity is fighting against the momentum that's trying to push them out, and that causes them to go around. But this is all using real, we have kind of like mass settings that we can set in here. So I can set the radius of one of these. I can set if it should eat stuff. I can set what its density is, because the The radius and the density is ultimately what calculates what the mass is. How big is it? How dense is it? That'll tell you how massive it is. And then we use all of that to calculate how strong its gravitational pull is and what effect it has on things that consume it. It's all like fairly, spicy math and like real science and stuff. And it's really cool. It could teach somebody how all of these
Yeah,
concepts
literally.
actually work in real life. So
Yeah, literally science stuff. Like there's the game isn't necessarily just for having fun. I mean, that is the whole point, but I feel like the direction we're heading with Weird Candy can actually help people learn how cosmic objects relate to each other, how like the motion of, the cosmos works, which is really cool.
yeah. So you can see here I have all the debug lines on. These are all the gravitational pulls of each of these objects. And these are all configurable too. So for each one, I can go in and I can say how big I want the gravity area to be, somewhere in here.
Tony, real quick, Noisy Cat asked a question. Thanks for coming through, Noisy Cat. Great seeing you here. So since you're new here, there's a couple of things to talk about, but I wanted to clarify what you meant by your question before we can answer it.
Yeah.
When you say what kind of integration method, are you asking about like our source control, or like what engine we're using, or like how we work together? Like all these questions are very welcome. Please ask them. That's the whole point of the stream. Did you find us from a video, or did you just find us like surfing around in Twitch, like checking out the software and game dev category?
While that answer's coming, yeah, I'll just keep talking. But yeah, so you can see just tons of control over, the gravity area that actually has influence. And we have impact particles. I really didn't understand Niagara when I started setting this up. So those are kind of a funny thing for me to see now because I have a much better understanding of it. We can put manual physics impulses on them to project them in certain directions when play starts, which is kind of ultimately how the gameplay aspect of things will probably work. But yeah, so really interesting. And if I hit play on this, you'll see that all of the gravity of all of these things is going to start interacting with each other and cause them to do some pretty crazy stuff. And then you'll see my really broken, particle physics showing up in the wrong stuff and wrong place and all of that. It looks pretty funny, but
yeah, these are great.
It's just kind of like a test bed that we had made of just like, what if you put all of this stuff in here? What happens? And still kind of early on with some of this stuff, but I don't know if it comes across too that like some of the sizes of these things that we're talking about here are quite big. I know these look just like some spheres, that these are kind of the same mass and approximate size as planets, and that's kind of the scale that this is working on.
Tony, Noisy Cat asked some very math heavy questions. I don't know if you know the answers to these. I definitely don't. So
yeah,
thank you for asking that.
I definitely understand what I have done here. I don't know if I know how to answer that in a way that actually will answer your question or not. But I'm happy to even just kind of show you what I'm talking about here too. So if I go in, so fun not having opened this project in a while, but let's see. So yeah, if we go in here, this is kind of, the parent class of all of that stuff that's happening. And there is just like a gravity tick basically that's happening on every one, and I'm trying to avoid ticking every single frame for every single one unless they actually are doing something to one another. So there's some filtering and stuff that's happening in there, but ultimately it's a lot of just kind of like determining which other bodies are having an influence on any given one, and kind of just trying to calculate, I guess, the relationship between their masses primarily, I guess, based on their densities and their radius. Yeah, let me keep pulling this up here. So it would be something like this is.
And Tony, let me know when you want me to talk about Fractal Grove, who we are, what we do, and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, one sec. It's probably out here. Some of this is nicer looking than others, but yeah, so here is what would happen for each impulse that happens. So this can happen basically once per frame from each opposing body. But yeah, we're just getting the mass of that source, and we're getting its transform, mostly just so we can get its location relative to the one that we're affecting. and we do some checks on it, and then it's a lot of math about the distance apart and the direction that the impulse should be going. We're doing some vector math here to determine the distance apart. We're multiplying that by the mass. It starts getting into some different stuff in here, but that looks right. Again, it's probably been we're coming up on a year since I actually wrote some of this stuff initially, so I know that it's not super 100% physically accurate, but on a high level it uses all of the same mechanics, and some of the variable numbers that go into it might be slightly different than they would be. And I want to say this right here is where decreasing the impulse of all of this stuff by a magnitude of 10,000 just to make it a little more fun to mess around with and experience and stuff like that.
Did you see Noisy Cat's responses? Noisy Cat's just like, are you really into physics, or like, do you do things with physics?
Noisy Cat is clearly smarter than all of us, I think.
Yeah, but like it's not an exaggeration. Like all of that stuff, when Vince and I started talking about this, I was like, hey, I have to like understand how the universe works now. I have to like go back to physics class. I really enjoyed physics in high school, but I never really got deeper into it than like the first 1 or 2 classes. And math has always been, pretty easy for me and stuff like that. So I was ultimately able to figure all this out, and was really into the expanse at the time and all of that stuff. So it was just like really firing on all cylinders. But yeah, none of this is like exaggerated nerd shit or anything. Like all of that is really what had to go into this to make this do what it does. So.
Well, I'll just roll into talking about Fractal Grove since Noisy Cat's new here. Okay, so some of you guys came through stream yesterday. You found us yesterday. Some of you found us from YouTube. Noisy Cat found us through browsing Twitch. So we are, we're called Fractal Grove. We are a studio based in Colorado, but we don't have like a physical location. We are spread out across the country. My name is Vince. I'm co-founder with Tony. Where is he? There he is. Over there, somewhere. I'm pointing. He's in the middle. Yeah. And then Christina. So Tony's. So I'm like creative director, game director, whatever you want to call that. I'm the video game idea guy. Tony is an engineer. So he figures out all of the tech things. So we're co-founders. We started this business together. Christina's our social media marketing person. She helps us like get all that stuff wrangled because we all just there's just too much to do. So we decided, so I spent last year trying to, like raise funding and do all kinds of other stuff to get us paid. And it was really tough. As you know, 2023 was a very difficult year just for this industry and for just the economy in general in the West, in the United States. The same sort of, it continued into Q1 of 2024. So instead of trying to like raise investment money, I was like, let's do this grassroots thing. And that's where we went with Twitch and YouTube. We've been streaming since January. We are, thanks to you guys, now we're paying like Perforce costs and, AWS costs because of you guys supporting us. It's really huge because it was just coming out of Tony and I's pocket before. Like we were just, paying for it with money we had, right? So that's the whole point. We're trying to crowdfund or like, have you guys help us fund our studio. And you guys are already like, we've monetized our YouTube channel. We hit Twitch affiliate in a month. Like it's super crazy the amount of support you guys have been giving us. And it's just really encouraging and it works.
One of the things we're not talking about right this specific moment is we have a coin pusher like you would see in an arcade that is integrated with Twitch and allows you to use your channel points to put coins in it. It adds objects onto the board when we get new subs and follows and cheers from bits and all sorts of stuff like that. So we're just trying a little bit of everything, and the streaming has been really important and really supportive and fun, to be honest. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, and so what we're trying to do is we're not trying to be like, come through the Fractal Grove show and we'll entertain you for 4 hours a week. We are trying to be entertaining, but the whole goal is for this to be an open door to the studio. So as we build things, as we release software products and you guys play them, you get to be a part of the development process. You're directly supporting us through this show, through our live stream. So we want you guys to be a part of the process as well, and just include you in what we're making, why we're making it, let you talk to us about what you like and what you don't like, what you want to see us do. All of that is just open for us. We stream Wednesday mornings, 10 to noon Mountain Time. That is typically our developer focused stream, which is what we're doing today. Yesterday, I did a big Destiny stream because I worked on Destiny for 5 years and made a bunch of shit. So we're not going to do any more Destiny stuff, but it was really fun to revisit my work, from 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I saw Noisy Cat. You said you were doing some VR enterprise targeted apps for workplace safety. That's very cool. Vince and I got pitched on working on I guess it would be like a VR app that would simulate doing surgery on animals to train veterinarians. We ultimately did turn it down, but that has been an area that we have definitely looked into going into before.
Thank you so much for that sub, Noisy Cat.
Oh,
it's very
so
cool.
much.
That's really appreciate that.
I found this cool shattering planets thing that we made here on screen while we were talking.
Yeah, this is so fun.
Pretty sweet.
Oh god, it's so great.
I love that. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's very satisfying.
At the time when we had made this, one of the challenging parts of it is that when they break into these particles, it's very difficult to determine where the particles are and, key events into them falling into the sun like we want to do with the whole planets and stuff like that. But for anybody who's been around lately, the neighbor grid particle system stuff that I've been doing should kind of allow us to effectively recreate what's happening here, but using a particle system that is a lot more performant than all of these static meshes shattering and flying around, but also two, it gives me the ability to know where each of those particles is in 3D space so that we can key different events off of them and make them behave the way that we want to and stuff. So Vince and I had kind of thrown this idea around as something that looked cool, but probably would never actually be able to be put into the game. And over the last 6 months, that has changed. So that's really cool.
I'm excited about that.
Do you want to talk about why?
It's just because of the neighbor grid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Tony figured out all of this shit with traditional physics systems, and then went and learned neighbor grid for coin pusher and all kinds of other stuff. And he's like, wait a minute, this might be really fucking good for weird candy. So we were talking about it. We were like, yeah, let's get back in here. Let's take a look at weird candy. Yeah. And so
something that 5.4 also introduced is custom gravity, which has never been in the engine before. So when we've talked about how we've recreated gravity in here and, these things operate the way that they would in a solar system and stuff, it's all using other systems in Unreal besides the gravity system. We've effectively just gone into this project and turned the gravity off so that we're in space with zero gravity. And then from there, it primarily functions just through physics impulses in the blueprints. And so you'll see those quite often, I would imagine, somewhere in here. Let's see. Yeah, so
Also, Anna, thank you so much for gifting Paladin that sub. That's
you're awesome.
Yep. And yeah, so it's just stuff like this basically just happening on ticks and causing the physics of objects to kind of be altered based on what should be happening. So yeah, that's kind of the high level of this VR game idea that it was the first thing that we ever did as a company officially after we both got laid off from our jobs last year. And I think it's something that we both still believe is going to be really cool when it's done. And technology has honestly caught up in the last 6 months to some of the places that we needed it to be to really do this the way that we wanted it to. And it seems like something that might, ultimately be appropriate to try to get onto a Vision Pro and would work well on a standalone like a Quest, as well as, a more PC VR type experience. So
we legit got interest from Meta too, which was really cool. We were talking with some people from Meta, but it's 2023, and it's the way it goes, right? Sometimes you get people to sign a deal, sometimes you don't. But you guys are fucking awesome, and you guys are just throwing $5 at us, and it helps. Every single dollar just helps us keep going. So you guys are, it's very overwhelming, and it means a lot to us. Thank you guys.
This one is fun. I'd have to actually turn the gravity on in the project settings for this one, but I don't know if you guys ever saw Suika Game when that was kind of a really popular thing with all the streamers there for a little bit and stuff like that. But
I'm really excited about this. Yeah. So a while ago when we were working on this, Suika game got really popular, and Tony was like, "I think I could build Suika game using Weird Candy and in VR and in Unreal." So he just like threw this shit together one weekend. It's really fucking cool.
I don't know why they're not falling now. I might have like overridden Project Gravity. You can see it happening though. So
I did, bro.
Two that are
I
the
checked it in.
same. When two that are the same type touch, then they become the next bigger one, and so on and so forth, all the way up to I think Jupiter is the largest one. And so this is just going to look cool by itself, I guess. But yeah, it worked ultimately, kind of like Suika game. So it was another idea.
Also, bear in mind, not Niagara.
Yeah, no, these are all static meshes. This is gonna start chugging here.
Yo,
oh
Paladin,
shit.
what the fuck?
Paladin.
Gifted subs, bro.
Dude, thank
Let's
you so much.
go.
What a G.
So much love in
Guy.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, bro.
We were really expecting like a super chill, just kind of
Yeah,
like,
we were
Yeah.
Thursdays are like chill. You guys are just
right now. This
fucking
is awesome. Thank you so much.
thank you guys. Trees in chat.
Okay.
So yeah, what's cool about this in talking about like neighbor grid versus like these are all these are not like Niagara simulated meshes. I don't know the tech for how that stuff works. These are like traditional normal meshes, which is still like relatively performant when you're considering that it's like it's doing live physics sim, which is pretty crazy. On like
noisy. I think we've definitely kind of come to
objects.
the conclusion that with this project, aside maybe from the shattering and particle stuff that I was talking about a minute ago, the chaos physics have been good, and especially because we are eventually trying to get this onto a Quest standalone, we recognize that it does need to stay somewhat simple. Not super simple, but we just like it's not going to be 500 simulated meshes on screen at one time. We would probably have to go to a Niagara system to do something like that, and we plan to. But yeah, we've been pretty happy with the way that this has been behaving for us so far. We messed around with potentially trying to go to like a Lumen and Nanite setup in VR, which is technically supported in UE5 now, but can never really get it running quite as good as we wanted to. And so we've, fallen back to good old deferred rendering. And yeah.
We would really much love to put this on AVP as well. I think we've got, I have a Quest 2, a Quest 3 somewhere over here. Yeah, Quest 3 is down there. And then we've also got an AVP. That having like used them all, I think the AVP like weird fucking ribbed rear head strap thing actually works the best for like laying in bed. My back was messed up at the beginning of the year, and so in like February when the AVP came out, my wife like super loves Apple shit, so she bought one. And I was basically like laid out for a week in bed, just like watching movies and shit. And I was like, I'm gonna try this. And I just watched like 3 hours of Avatar on AVP, and it was very comfortable. So I think with the right head strap where you can like lay down on a pillow and like have your headset, your HMD like feel comfy, I think Weird Candy will sit in a really good spot there. So yeah, I agree. I'm excited for how this could just be a good app in the VR space.
Absolutely.
Also, since we're pausing real quick, you guys are wild, and thank you so much for all of the subs.
Thank you so much, guys.
Like, I'm very overwhelmed. I wasn't kidding when I said like I'm feeling emotional. Like, you guys came out of nowhere. This is the most support we've gotten in a day and forever. So thank you so much.
So much
it's
love.
pretty validating too, because Vince and I, we put on the headsets, for the first time together in a while. Yesterday, we played some Walkabout, and we were just like, we haven't looked at Weird Candy in a long time. Maybe, now is the time. And it's fairly validating that, you guys are coming through and everybody's as excited about it as they are and stuff. So it's very cool.
Yeah, Noisy. Tony definitely likes to do things the right way. Like, and that's a principle that we believe in. I think one of the core things about Fractal Grove is that like we're trying to do things differently. So I haven't always made games. I had a whole ass career as like a network engineer before I made games. And that, and Tony's new to games as well, but not new to software development. So us going into this, we're like, there's all these really weird things in the industry does that are just kind of unnecessary, but people accept as like, this is the way it goes. And there's like holdovers from music and film that just kind of like fit into weird software practices. So we're like, fuck all that. We're not going to do that shit. We're going to do things, a new way. like 4-day work weeks, fucking full remote, you know, like you'll never be required to go into an office. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone just does everything. Like Fridays are a free day for everyone. So if you are, so like Christina, for example, has a background in fashion design and, you know, marketing and stuff like that. But Christina's really excited about working in Unreal. So Fridays for her, she's been working in MetaHuman and like learning how to make MetaHumans and fuck around in Unreal. And it's super
Trying
cool.
to.
Yeah, no, you're doing great, dude. So
Kicking
like,
my ass.
yeah, it's stuff that neither Tony nor I know how to do. So it's just really cool that Christina is like diving in there. So that's like one of the principles we're doing. And just at every step, it has proven to be a really good thing for us to do, to let people experiment, take some time, explore different things. Like we really want everyone to be really happy here and work here. Like we want people to want to work with us and work on the projects that they're working on. So we're just trying to do things differently, and so far it's all working. It's been great. So yeah, and a lot of it is because of you guys, so thank you.
Here's the next one that I'll show off here. A few different things, but when there's a sun in the scene, it will link the directional light in the scene to the direction between the player and the sun, so that it always seems like the light is coming from the sun no matter where you're standing. And you'll see that, you know, the dynamic lighting in the scene will change and stuff. But we also have these shaders on the planets, and these are kind of an illusion. It's totally like an unlit, you know, it again calculates the direction of the sun in the scene versus where the planet is. And then you'll see that when I hit sim here, you know, you'll watch the light travel across this reflective surface here and kind of bounce off of these. But then if you watch this guy too, this movement of the light side of this planet is kind of being calculated in real time based on where that guy is, and you'll see it, you know, follow it accurately. And we could have 100 planets in the scene and they'll all just kind of like do that by default. So we put a lot of time and energy just kind of into those, you know, physical systems, like developing the universe in here. And there's not like a game around it just yet, but we have all the pieces now to just kind of say like, okay, when this happens, that's gives you points and can progress you through a level, and you can take turns doing X, Y, and Z. And yeah.
Yeah, in the X, Y, and Z, I'll elaborate on that a little bit. There's things that we were talking about like for the future that aren't necessarily in the game yet. We currently only have a couple verbs, which actually we might only have one verb. Push? Push is our only verb, right?
It might be, yeah.
Well, I guess you also have like rotate. So you have like aim.
I can get
into
aim
and rotate, and then you can push.
I'll try to get into some of these with my headset on here now.
And so what I mean when I say that is when you're in VR, you have to have a way to manipulate these things. So we also prototype those. And when I say verb, it's like, what can a player do? So this is like design jargon, right? Like the player verb is like, how does the player express themselves in this game, playing it, doing it, whatever? How do they interact with the game, right? So the verb that we have is push, which is you select the object you want to interact with, you aim it, and you click, and it just begins moving in that direction on an impulse based on where you aimed it. So that's our current verb. The future, though, is a lot of different kinds of verbs. So we might have one where you get like a special ability. There's a book that we're really big fans of called Three Body, and there's sort of a concept in that of this like super dense mass dot, and it's basically like a, you know, almost a subatomic particle. I don't actually remember how big it is in the book. I haven't read it in a while, a couple of years, but there's this dot you can throw, you know, at a star that will cause the star to supernova because it's too much mass for the star to continue the fusion reaction in a stable way. So imagine that you as a player might unlock the ability to throw a mass dot, and you could supernova the star in your system before you even push a planet. So you might get push and supernova, or like mass dot, right? So stuff like that. You could also do like spin, you know, like move the star itself, a bunch of shit. We're just trying to figure those parts out right now. But yeah, the verbs are things that we're exploring.
We also have a stream from maybe like a month and a half ago where we talk about that book in great detail for probably like 45 minutes. So if you like that book or the show, that they made a show, right? That's the one. like a show's out about that now. Yeah, so if you like any of that, you can go watch that stream. Noisy Cat, thank you. I am literally useless, so I appreciate this walkthrough because Tony's busy and Tony's usually the person I go to when I'm like, everything's broken. What do I do?
What's the problem?
Nothing. You're fine. Keep doing what you're doing.
Noisy Cat was asking about her PC specs, and we're like, we don't know how to necessarily, like, we'll have to talk her through getting you that, so don't worry about it. Also, I just wanted to shout out the custom splash screen for Weird Candy is sick as fuck. That is some art that we got, you know, added into a splash screen. Tony was like, I want to learn how to make that splash work. Okay, so here you go, chat. You guys can see what it looks like in VR.
Let's see if I can make
it's okay.
It bigger.
It's a tiny window, but I think it's going to be okay, Tony.
I think I can make it bigger. Here we go.
Okay. Oh, sick. Let's go. All right, sick. Okay.
Yeah, worth noting too, I don't know if you guys have kind of been watching, but I've had my headset on for the past 5 minutes or so. I can see my computer screen in Steam VR, as well as right now I'm in pass-through, so I'm just looking through the cameras at my actual computer screens right now. So that's one way that I can kind of use my computer without necessarily having to take my headset off every 10 seconds. But again, I can also see the computer screens inside of the headset virtually. And a lot of the time lately when I'm doing VR dev, I can just kind of like go in and out of launching the project without ever taking the headset off, which is kind of nice. So yeah.
Also, the Bobo headset is really, or what is it? Head strap? What do they call it?
Bobo VR, yeah, head strap.
Head strap, yeah. So he has like not the stock Quest headset or the strap. Here, I'll just show you guys the stock one. So this is the stock cloth one. It's actually pretty good, but the Boba one is definitely better.
But yeah, so you guys will see, this is again just kind of going back into like, we spent most of the time building the parts to put all of this together into a game eventually, but the game isn't quite there yet. But one of the things with VR, if you've ever used it, is that everybody kind of has a different preference for how they like the locomotion to work and what's going to be comfortable for them to play a game. And as Vince has kind of been espousing, we really want this game to be very comfortable and chill and easy for literally anybody to play. So accessibility is like a big consideration that we've made. So like over here, we have every possible locomotion way that you could do in VR that are kind of like the popular ones that are available, from, you know, good old teleporting to the navigate one is super weird. I can show some of these off, but you know, good old controller and head oriented D-pad, that's my preference. That's this. I'm moving very fast right now, though I would not recommend this for new people. But I like snap turn as well. So you see that when I hit my joystick to the side, I rotate 30 degrees. Also configurable here. I can make it 90 degrees if I want. And I'm going to turn all the way to my right and face the sun in one click. 30 is usually what I use in most games, though. And some people don't like snap turn. They like smooth turn. So if I uncheck this and now I turn, I do this. That will make me sick in 10 seconds. So I'm not going to do that. The reason that people tend to get sick in VR is because your brain thinks your body's moving, but your body doesn't think it's moving. And that starts to like make everything just be upset. So that's why the snap turn helps for me, because it's like now I'm just facing a new direction. I didn't feel any sense of motion that my body wasn't aware of. For whatever reason, doing this though doesn't bug me in the same way. So, but yeah, so we have all of the kind of traditional ones. I think teleport's probably kind of the one that most people are used to. And I don't know if I have it set up in this level where I can actually teleport around right now. So never mind there. But yeah, so I just wanted to point that out again to say that that's another thing that we spent a lot of time on is, you know, this sort of stuff that's not very sexy and doesn't really, you know, show off super cool. You can definitely see we have this cool level here. Everything's orbiting around the star and looks pretty sweet. All that stuff that we were showing. This is the Skybox controller. So I can actually click this button here and you'll see that the Skybox will change to all of these different space nebula things that we had made. There's an app called Spacescape that actually allows you to procedurally generate these like space scenes, and so we use that to generate a lot of these. And it looks pretty cool, but we tend to stay with this purple one. And then yeah, again within these I also have controls of, I can turn the brightness way up so it's like super vibrant like this. and so on. And if you guys have ever heard Vince talk about, having sliders and control over kind of the stuff that we're building so that he can then kind of like bring his designs to life within the frameworks that we're putting together, this is kind of the type of thing that he's talking about there, just like as a real basic example. I put together, the idea of a skybox. He probably has a more specific vision in his mind of exactly what it looks like. And so he can use stuff like this to kind of figure out what he likes and then can, obviously communicate that back to us ultimately. It's probably about all I got here. I want to say these buttons over here should take me to a new level when I press them. Yep. So I showed you guys this one earlier where the sun out there eats a planet and then turns into a black hole. That also turns this mini map that should be here on this platform with me into a black hole. And if I walk into it, right now it's set up to just take me back to the menu that I was just on. So if I do that, now I'm back here again. So that's kind of how you would move between levels and stuff in the game.
If you've played, is it, oh my God, what's it called? To the top. You grab like an orb and pull it into your face. Imagine that's what you're doing.
They also
so
do
like,
it in the
grab
Valve
the singularity. Lab. In what?
The Valve Lab.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Totally. So yeah, that's the thing we're trying to recreate is like you've hit the singularity and then you just kind of like pull yourself into it. And now you're in a new level.
And then obviously we have the multiplayer menu over here. I think this probably does work, but I obviously don't have anybody to test it with right this very moment. But this should allow me and another person to effectively be in this space together. And then the idea should be that when I go to another level, it should take them with me as well when I'm the host. So yeah, again, a lot of the, I guess like the spicier parts of the project are kind of like nailed down in there, and we just need to polish them into something that we can give out.
Yeah, and Christina couldn't play the SpongeBob game she wanted to play because it was making her motion sick. So
yeah, I can't hang. It's very annoying.
Okay, so there's probably some other stuff in here I can show too. Let's see.
Tony, Noisy Cat also brought up
stuff for the moment, Vince, if you want to.
Yeah, Noisy Cat brought up something that I don't know that we've ever necessarily talked about, or I know that I haven't looked at. It was like meta 2D, 3D, like flat VR sim. I'm trying to remember what Noisy Cat actually called it. Blah, 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 blah. It's shipped by Meta, potentially. We need dev access, which we're fine. We can get. Meta VR Simulator is what it looks like. So you can do dev without putting the headset on.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you brought that up, actually, because I don't know if you've seen the discourse that's happening on, I saw it on Twitter right now, but it had actually come from Reddit. There was a Reddit post that got shared that was basically a person who worked at a VR developer, and they were kind of lamenting that they felt like nobody at their company actually played VR games, and that they had a VR simulator set up so that they'd never actually had to put the headset on to do their development work, and how it just kind of like lent to their ultimate like end product not being that good, and the people who work there not necessarily understanding the space and all of that stuff. So I've been very back and forth about how I feel about that whole discussion. I got it right here up on the screen. So yeah, team of 40, around half the devs are artists. Almost everybody owns a headset to test the product and whatnot, but I find it interesting that there's not one person in the company that plays VR games. During development, we all avoid using VR like the plague. There's a simulator plugin that enables us playing VR in flat screen. We have game nights, but they're always flat screen games. Yeah, so there's just a lot of back and forth from the VR influencers and stuff on Twitter about this topic, and a lot of people kind of pointing to being like, this is why a lot of AAA VR games are not as good as indie ones and stuff like that. And so bringing all of this around to say, in our other major VR project that we've been working on, which is like a GeoGuessr clone, I had set up a first-person controller that kind of allowed us to test the game and kind of do all of the stuff that we would be able to do without having to put the headset on. And it's very nice, and it helps with iteration time, and it's a lot less annoying and stuff like that. But part of me, looks at scenarios like that and is like, should we be doing that? or is it good to force yourself to put the headset on as much as we do? So
I think
I'd imagine there's kind of a balancing act there, but
yeah, and I think to your point, Tony, the key that's really important is you can do a lot of stuff flat, but you have to put the headset on. Like you just have to. If you don't put the headset on, it's the same thing as like, and I've talked about this a few times. I've worked with plenty of devs in AAA who don't play the game that they make, and this is basically the same thing. You got to play the game that you're making. That's like a requirement of what we do here. At this studio is like everybody's got to play. Just I know if it sucks, tell us why it sucks. Tell us why you don't want to play it. Like that's important. We don't want to make a game that someone's unhappy with, right?
absolutely.
So anyway,
Yeah,
that's our take on it.
I've seen the Meta one. I know that NVIDIA has another one that kind of lets you effectively like simulate that you're in a VR headset when you're not, to kind of like, I don't know, lives above the Unreal Engine level as opposed to being inside of the editor. Yeah, definitely have looked into those. And the reason in the first place that we had set up that first person controller was exactly what we're talking about here, is just for sitting there, and I was trying to build multiplayer at the time, and it is such a nightmare, especially with VR, to try to test multiplayer locally or between. I have two computers here. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do, but being able to just kind of know that on a basic level, at least the players are ending up in the session together and the controllers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then we can kind of stack the functionality on top of that. That was nice. And um but to that point, like we've been talking about, I hadn't really put a headset on since January, probably until earlier this week, and that's probably not good. So.
Yeah, and February for me because of AVP, right? Like
yeah, I mean, I guess I came over, I tried your AVP there.
Yeah.
There's been a few times here and there where I've gotten it out to try things and whatnot, but
yeah, it's I think it's important, and it's okay to do stuff flat, like I was saying. It is totally okay, but you have to make sure that you do stuff with the headset on. So it's just being honest with yourself and being honest with your team, and the people you work with, and like it actually fucking matters. You should really care, and if you don't care, talk to everybody. Explain like this is why I don't like this. Yeah, it matters.
We haven't really talked about this yet, but Christina, our valued first non-founder employee, we're sending her a VR headset today so that she can start kind of contributing to this and understanding better what we're doing. Because Vince and I have literally gone to developer meetups and conferences from other big AAA VR games that we really like and that we really respect, and talk to like their community manager, and she's like, I've probably played our game 2 times and I've never played another VR game. And it was just like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not okay.
We don't want that to be us.
A product expert if you're in this type of role. You got to know it backwards and forwards and be pretty much the biggest fan of whatever company you're repping like that. So
yeah. And to Vince's point,
excited.
We want to make stuff that people actually feel that way about genuinely and all of that. So
yeah, I'm really excited. I haven't put on a VR set in a couple of years, honestly. And I don't own one, so this will be a lot of fun, and I'm really stoked to be able to do some design work while wearing it. I feel like that'd be really cool.
I'm really stoked for you to do that. So yeah. That's the thing that like we're talking about just as a principle is that for this company, like we want to have everyone have the chance to work on the things that they want to work on, do the stuff that they want to do, do the kind of work that they want to do that makes them excited, makes them happy. So yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you can think of in here specifically that I haven't shown that I could show? I can definitely, jump around some other stuff that we've put together.
Like wild echo going on right now. I don't know who it is.
Tony. Whenever he screen shares, there's an echo. Has that been going on this whole time?
Oh my god.
Maybe. There might have been
an echo going on.
I don't think it's been happening the whole time. I think it's only been mild.
I just heard it though. So hold on, let's see. Where's that coming through?
YouTube. Hello. My YouTube's muted.
Okay, well that's good. No one else hears it.
I might hear it. I think I hear the stream coming through your mic a little bit, Vince. I'm looking at the mixer. It jumps up every once in a while.
Yeah, the echo's like instant. It's not like a.
Oh, I just heard it. It's coming through someone's mic.
Vince, talk again. That was when it happened.
I'm muted. I keep literally just hitting the mute button on my mic every time I'm not talking.
Yeah, it's a noisy cat.
Sorry,
100% noisy cat's mic.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just gonna watch the. It might be Christina.
Come
Christina,
on,
damn it.
we're not doing this again. It's not me. All right, I'm gonna mute. You tell me if it's me or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the.
Okay, I'm talking. I think there's still an echo. Yeah, there's still an echo. It's much lighter.
Okay. And that helps.
So here's the thing. While we're echoing and we're trying to figure this out, I want to explain to some of you new guys who are coming through. We don't stream a ton. We only stream 4 hours a week, and we're not professional streamers, and we have a very complicated stream setup. I'm in one part of Colorado. Tony's in a different part of Colorado. Christina's in New York City. Our stream yesterday, we had someone in Washington who also joined the stream. So we have like a multiple PC, like basically it's not infinitely scalable. There are other, there's telecom infrastructure things that will hold us back, but we have a very scalable stream setup. And there's a lot of, technical issues to deal with. So that's why we have this echo, and it's totally okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything lighting up except for you the whole time you were talking. I don't know if it was echoing, but you were the only thing across this whole mixer that had any activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Well, was it still echoing while he was talking?
Yeah, it was echoing the whole time I was talking. So like if I mute the stream, I don't hear myself. That's
Tony,
the weird part.
It's not your screen share thing that happened last time.
I'm looking at it, and the desktop audio is off. So
Sparkle says she can't hear an echo. So is it just only
excellent?
We can hear
Hopefully
it?
it's only me echoing, and I got to figure out what the fuck is echoing. So cool. False alarm,
guys.
Okay.
Professional streamers.
Yep.
All right. So we did all this for nothing.
That's fine. We're double checking, making
sure.
This
is why I don't say I hear an echo when I hear an echo.
No, it's
literally fucking gone now. I don't know what the hell's going
on.
on.
We used to just be complete amateurs, so.
Used to. I mean, we still are. It's fine.
Really, every stream we're yelling at each other saying it's not my mic, it's your mic.
It's
oh my god.
No. I did just offer to help you guys with your streams, and we can't get our shit right. But I promise, it's good. We're doing very complicated things. We can help you do your streams if you need help with it. Also, what up, Josh? Thanks for coming through.
Oh.
This is cool, Tony.
So for y'all, for y'all who are newer or just popping in, we're looking at our Weird Candy project. It's one of our titles in VR that we've been making. We've been working on since last year, and we haven't touched it in a couple months because we've been working on Sacred Geography. We've been working on Stream. We've been working on a bunch of other parts of the business. So now it's time for us to get back in here, and that's what we wanted to do today: is take a look at this project, catch up on where we left it.
Sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. And then talk about like plans for our next steps and like what we need to do next for Weird Candy and just get that project moving again. So that's what we're doing.
So one of the things that this blue bubble does that I'm having kind of a hard time showing off right now is that it has a 1-to-1 representation of everything that's going on at full scale, but scaled down into this space that you can kind of walk around in on this platform, and that is made to be a little bit more like digestible to kind of get an overview of everything that's happening in the scene and stuff like that. So this is just kind of like an animation with a VR headset on this dude that we had thrown in for like our early pitch deck of kind of what our idea is and stuff like that. But yeah, again, this is an actual 1-to-1 real-time representation of what the actual planets are doing. And Vince, you can probably kind of talk more about like what the long-term idea is here, but ultimately this is going to kind of be like a way that you interact with and control the game.
Yeah, I think what the interesting point about this. Hey, what's up, John, in YouTube chat? Okay, John just said they're gonna take a shot every time they hear the word echo. Nice, enjoy. Please do. There's that was like 10 minutes ago, so you're gonna hear it probably like 40 times. I hope you don't die.
You're gonna be drunk every week. I will tell you that.
Okay, so the cool thing I think about the video that Tony just showed is typically when people create pitches and stuff like that, they will, do smoke and mirrors to just like we could have hand animated these and like none of it could have been like physics sim. Yo, thank you for the 1-bit dog. But yeah, these things like twirling around, we could have just hand animated those and like faked it. But this is like actual sim. This is like actually connected to all the stuff happening in the background, which is really sick. So like all the stuff you see moving around the sun next to the holographic representation of the system is, it's the same thing. It's 1-to-1. Bro, stop spamming us with 1 bit.
Oh my God. Do you want to be banned, Josh? Because I will do it.
He's trolling right now.
Here's maybe a slightly more interesting one where they're not just kind of like going around it in a flat loop. Although, science fact, the planets actually do orbit around the sun in kind of a flat disk due to centrifugal force. So that's not like it's not like a basic approximation. That's kind of how it actually works.
I appreciate you bullying us with your $1 donations, Josh. Thank you.
1 cent.
1 cent, yeah, actually. My bad, I forgot.
Oh, is that money
bits
that he's giving us?
It's pennies,
I
but
didn't
yeah.
know that. Okay.
This is why I told you, Tony, we shouldn't allow 1-bit donations or whatever, 1-bit cheers.
Yep, totally.
Because someone's gonna do this. Yeah, he's literally just throwing pennies at us right now.
I'm just gonna keep showing like backlog of dev videos at this point, and Vince can keep talking about them. This was the one. This scene right here is kind of where we were like, "Hey, this will be a fun game to play in VR." But the idea was basically like, blast these like bowling pins with this thing, and they would just all like fly off.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and literally noisy. Yes, Penn's method of testing. Literally. Yeah, I like this video. This is cool. This is like one of the very early prototypes where we were like, oh shit.
So this is kind of show, like on a very, very basic level, kind of what we can do in terms of the interactivity right now, which is that when you point your laser at a candy and you pull the trigger, it fires off in the direction that it's supposed to fly. And then I can show kind of the mechanic that we've built around aiming it. Yeah, we said we were going to come to the stream today with no preparation, so a lot of the stuff it's hard to show live, but here's basically I can walk up to a candy in VR like this, and you'll see that this handle will appear out the back of it, and on the front side of it there's a laser pointer that's pointing in the direction that it would go. So I can use this handle here to point it any direction that I want to, and then when I let go it'll stay there, and then when I press it it'll fly off in that direction. And so that would be you would aim and then fire each time.
That's super fun.
These are the basics of like the mechanics that we have built, so it's super cool.
What else I got on?
Yeah, I liked this video. This is cool. We also like had to figure out how to use like the in-engine recording and like all that stuff, like how to take like full renders, like yeah, that was really cool to explore as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we definitely I'd spent years learning, how to make player controllers and game modes and, even multiplayer and stuff like that. But there's entire swaths of the engine that, a year ago when we started doing this, neither of us had really ever touched just because of lack of necessary experience at that point. But yeah, one of those things definitely was making renders and videos and capturing what we were doing in the engine in a higher quality way. I don't really honestly do that stuff too much anymore. I still just tend to point OBS at my, play and engine viewport and just record that way. But, if you do want to get like a nice like 4K 60 FPS recording, you can use the movie render queue and all of that good stuff instead. So I think this is the good Suica one here. Oh no, that one's with the tube. So Yeah, here, this is Suica when it was actually working. I was showing it a little bit earlier. But so any of the two like planets will merge into each other and then become a larger planet all the way up to Jupiter. And I just had, this is kind of like a simulation that was running where it'll just drop them in a random location above this box every 1 second or so, and it picks one of the three smaller variants, and then just kind of let it run for a while. Yeah, noisy. Totally agree. And the one that I've been really fighting with the past couple of weeks is the world partition and landscape tools. I feel like I don't know. I always pick stuff in the engine, and then I'm like, oh, cool. Nobody has ever made a tutorial or written any documentation about this in the entire time that this feature has existed. Sweet. And that definitely is kind of where I feel like I'm at with some of the landscape stuff right now.
I appreciate you saying echo in YouTube chat GT times. Thank you. Yeah, it's
that YouTube shows up on the screen in the chat now.
Yeah, no shit, right? I appreciate there are people chatting in YouTube, and we saw it. And
we
like,
never have YouTube people, so you YouTube guys are Chads. Oh yeah, thank you.
Good job, John and GT. I hope y'all are vibing over there, having a great time. We're also simultaneously live on Twitch, where the chat is a little more active if you want to come over here, but you're all good staying there if you want to.
Yeah, noisy. That's funny too, because I was like, I want to learn PCG, and then I was like, well, I need to put like a cool landscape together to learn how to do PCG on. And so I like pulled up a PCG tutorial, and they get into like, okay, we're gonna make a landscape, and then that was like 2.5 weeks ago, and I haven't restarted the video yet because I got down such a rabbit hole. I was trying to import GIS data into a landscape, and I can get the GIS data and I can import it, but it imports at way too high of a quality, and it doesn't run very well in world partition and stuff. And I've been trying to figure out how to shrink it based on the Epic Games guidelines, but then it always comes out weird. I seriously have like made a forum post. I went on the Unreal Slackers Discord. I asked on Twitter. Nobody knows the answer. I feel like people at Epic Games probably don't know the answer. It's just like one of those things. Yep. And I mean, I'm sure if you've been working in Unreal that long, you know it's just like that around every corner that you turn, basically.
Oh shit! Noisy Cat said they were gonna dig in the engine.
Yeah, I could even show kind of what I've been talking about here too. Let me just open this other project up because I think we've kind of exhausted what we've got in Weird Candy anyway.
What's up, Julian? Thanks for coming through in YouTube chat. I'm glad that we were actually catching you guys in YouTube chat today.
Yeah, thanks for coming through, guys.
Woo! Yeah, we were on the struggle. We had a couple people, like YouTube chat was basically dead for the longest time, and then we had a couple people popping in there, and we completely missed them because the only people chatting was Twitch. So thank you for coming through. Christina would probably drive over and stab you. Yeah.
Who am I stabbing?
Josh, I'm defending your penny throwing because it's not Tuesday afternoon at the strip club where you're eating brunch, bro. So stop throwing pennies.
Those pennies at a strip club. Why are you so cheap?
Josh. Oh my God, he's doing it again. So yeah, Photon said that he would not join in the penny spam because you would drive over to his house and stab him. So yeah, and I said yes, she will.
I won't stab you. Don't worry.
Make it hail.
Now, Josh, on the other hand, if I ever find out where he lives.
Yep. Y'all are gonna fight.
Cash these hands.
Okay, so what I was doing here is I was going into a new open world, trying to make a landscape, importing from file. I got my height map here. I import that. It's 4033 by 4033. And then, not to get too deep into this right now, but in the Unreal Engine docs, there's a page that says suggested landscape sizes, basically. And there's a row that talks about how if you have a 4033 by 4033 image, you're supposed to set it to 2x2 sections here and 32x32 components here. And then that should give you 43x40, 4033x4033 here with 1024 components. This is what I would like to do. But when I do this, it will, I'm just going to go back to this one I already did. If I look at world partition, it only fills in this top quarter of the graph here. And it only, if I load this, it's only going to be a quarter of the actual landscape itself. The other 3/4 of it just aren't here. And I can't figure out why.
Sorry, I'm very distracted by the penny spam that's happening right now that I'm going to try to fix because our friends are jerks. All right, guys. Sorry, I killed your fun, but yeah, it's over. I changed it to 100. You gotta spend $1 if you want to spam us now.
Feel free to keep throwing dollars, though. That'd be fine.
Yeah, throw dollars. You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
but yeah,
see who
so
we
as I
have.
was saying here, I'm looking at this row in this table, right? This is all the numbers that I just said to you. 4033 by 4033 image, 63 quads, 2x2 sections, 32 by 32 components for a total of 1024. I only get a quarter of the landscape. I cannot figure out why. I've tried so many different variations. It just like almost doesn't make sense to me logically why it's doing what it's doing.
Well, I love that Tony has like a real question. He's technical one, and he's frustrated, and chat is just wilding. It's so good.
Yeah, Cloudblood is strong today, and I love it.
Julian, what is that? I don't even know what you're talking
send
about.
you the Discord link at a very minimum right now because I know where that is off the top of my head. So let me at least grab that, and then I'll move on for now.
Okay, sick. Thanks for joining, Noisy. Yeah, Tony's definitely trying to be serious, and chat is just being monstrous. You guys are great. It's fantastic. We love you guys here. It's really fun. Thank you. I was wondering how long it was going to take us before I had to like raise the minimum from single bit cheers, and I love that.
I thought it was going to be because of people we didn't know, but
exactly, yeah. No, it was people we knew bullying us, which is the best part.
No, you did not hijack of anything. You're the only person here who's on topic. So
yeah, you're great, Noisy. Thank you.
And as you can tell, like I have been so driven mad by this problem. Like I did give up on it, which I rarely do, but it doesn't make sense to me anymore why it's doing what it's doing. And I am kind of at a point where if I load it in, the problem is if I load it in with like the default values and the recommended settings, it is super not performant. And so in my brain, it looks like if I can reduce the number of components here by 4, it's probably going to work a lot better. And so that's why I'm trying to just like get to the spot where it just does here. It says exactly what it says here. And that seems like that would be good. But yeah, so it's my little aside. But yeah, we have a big open world project that we would like to start working on. And yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to go spend some time and learn that and start kind of figuring out how that stuff works. And here we are.
Nice. So yeah, it sounds like Noisy doesn't know either.
I went out, so I like go on Unreal Slackers and I'm like asking them, and like all the responses I'm getting is people are like, well, why are you trying to change the default values? That doesn't seem right. And I'm like, okay, like you're trying to answer my question and you clearly don't know the answer to it. So just stop. Like, don't, yeah. I don't need you to respond. Like I'm pointing you at documentation and saying it's not doing what it says it's supposed to be doing. You're asking me why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's like, because the fucking documentation says I should. Like, I don't know.
Oh my god, boom. Yes, it's literally always a fucking checkbox somewhere.
Oh, it's definitely always a fucking checkbox somewhere. It's probably legitimately one of these right here. Like there's just something I need to just do very slightly differently here and I'm good to go. And some people have given me like more helpful suggestions, like make the landscape settings here what they should be and then import on top of it. But ultimately that just ends up with the same results. I can like take the height map file and make it 4 times smaller so that it would technically fit within that quarter area that I was showing you, and then I get the whole thing in there, but it's 4 times smaller than it should be, and that just messes everything up again, and it's not, like, centered on 0, 0, so I just assume that something is probably not set up right.
Boom's got a good solution. Just check every box.
Yeah, and I mean, I swear to God, there's not that many settings in here. I've probably tried every variation that I can think of through here, and it doesn't make sense. Like, you change one thing and all this other stuff changes, and it doesn't line up with the way that you would expect it to behave. It's just infuriating. But anyways,
yeah, we'll keep poking at that and hopefully figure it out.
yeah, totally.
I would say similar and different. Unreal's, I mean, Josh, like, so yeah, exactly. So Unreal's very close to the tools that we had at Bungie, like very close. Unity is not. Yeah, Unity is different. Like, you have to write more code to get more things done in Unity. It is very much like Grognok. Yes, 100%. There was once a time when I was asking an engineer how to do a thing in Grognok, and the engineer, I won't name who they are, but they were like, I don't know why we just don't fucking use Unreal. It's so annoying. You can literally just do this in Unreal with one button click, and it takes like 8 steps to do it in Grognok.
So here would be the same settings, right? 1024 total, blah, blah, blah. So if I hit create, I'll just call this one stream. We do that, and then it'll do the thing. You'll see. I'm just addressing Noisy Cat's last comment about how they weren't sure if it was centered or not ever. And I'm pretty sure it is. And maybe sometimes it is. It's just another one of those things that I can't tell if that's an indication that there's a problem or if it's supposed to be like that. If this is intended behavior and I just don't understand how it works and I'm doing it wrong. I've kind of gone that direction with it, but I can't figure it out. So.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Noisy. Yeah, and I come from a design background, so I'm like a mix of both art and code and bad at both. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm good if you give me like half-baked blueprints with enough knobs and like levers on them to like turn so that I can make some shit out of. That's when I'm good. Don't say that, man. Yeah. I know my skill sets, bro. they're not in the
think your
engine.
Destiny stands would argue differently.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just harsh on myself. I don't know. Well,
And
thank you. I appreciate
I guess
it.
you see here that this blank one did still only show up here. And so that, I guess, kind of leads you to, I guess, maybe that's how that's supposed to work when you make it this size. But what I guess I'm having a hard time understanding still too is like why I only get a quarter of the image that I'm importing in there when, ultimately it kind of, it looks like this. If you were to load the whole thing, you just get a quarter of the actual topology, and then the rest of it is just like a flat plane again. So that's the main thing that I've really been struggling with.
Hey Tony, how does Josh get
I'm
as
trying to think of a snarky answer. I don't really have anything right now.
You're either blasphemy or not, Josh. Settle down.
I'll say
tattoo
start with a stand-up desk and go from there, probably.
I don't think there's any helping you in that arena.
Get a stand-up desk, buy some pit vipers, start drinking Monster Energy, and probably buy a couple of handguns. I don't know. That'd be my guess.
Burn all your clothes because they suck.
Actually,
Burn all your clothes.
get a Shiba Inu and drink G Fuel, not Monster. And
yeah, Vince, get it right. It's G Fuel.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Tony, do you know what I had
I
to
thought the G Fuel, like Boom taught me. That's the good shit.
I literally had a dream about G Fuel the other day because you talk about it so much. And I woke up and I was like, the fuck am I dreaming about? But yeah.
G Fuel is great.
Christina, you're not even gonna respond to that?
Oh, are you
Oh,
serious,
shit.
Josh? You really want to come for me? You were like trying to flex so hard yesterday. You were in like the most basic, stupid t-shirt. Like,
Oh my
really?
god. Yo.
Did I not tell you I spent 10 years in the fashion industry? You really want to do this? Okay.
Oh shit, this is great. Yo, look at that chat. The wizard hat fights back.
Amazing.
You guys are fun. You guys are very fun today. I enjoy chat being wild monsters.
I wasn't allowed to be mean yesterday. You know, it
Yeah,
has to
you
come
can
out
be
at some
mean
point.
now. It's your time.
I don't think it's worth it.
Hey, you know.
So beneath me.
So I'm gonna pull up. Vince talked earlier about how when we were prototyping some weird candy stuff, we just grabbed an asset pack so that it would kind of, not be completely default materials and stuff like that. And we could kind of just start figuring out how we wanted things to look. And so I'm just gonna pull that asset pack up and kind of show you what that process looks like for us to, utilize something like this and why we chose the one that we chose and what we do with it and kind of how it works. I talked about this, I think 2 weeks ago on the stream about how a lot of the process of working in Unreal is maintaining a bunch of disparate projects that kind of have the default original versions of assets in them that you will then migrate out into other projects that you're working on so that you can do that over and over and over without having to re-download things over and over. So this is one of those projects. This came straight from an asset pack that's like sci-fi particle effects or something. It was like $15 and it just had a lot of stuff in it, including a black hole that we really wanted to just kind of get into the project just to kind of start establishing some look and feel type stuff. And when we met with that meta contact that Vince was talking about, we didn't want it to look too basic at the time. So that was a big reason that we went with this. And so I haven't opened this project in about as long as it's been since we opened the other one, so we're compiling shaders, but it's done now.
Tony, did you see what flavor of G Fuel artificial sky drinks?
Such a clown.
Wow.
He just goes, wow.
And so the asset pack that we got is something that didn't make a project itself, but something that you add to a project. And since we were planning to use it in a VR project, I put it into a VR starter project rather than like a third person template or something, because we specifically wanted to make sure that these things would look good with forward rendering turned on. And yeah, just very easy we're obviously testing the black hole here. This is the default VR starter map. But then this pack also comes with overview maps, both day and night versions, and it kind of set up like a mall where you can just like kind of walk through all of the effects and see how they look. And then I can migrate them out into our other projects when we want to use them.
Photon, I didn't know that Humble did Unreal packs. Are they like asset packages for like Unreal Engine, or are they something else? Because there's always like, yeah, that'd be sick. Thank you. There's always asset packs in Unreal, in the Epic Store, like monthly. They give you like 5 for free, and you should just.
But I've bought asset packs from Patreon, from Humble Bundle, from Kickstarter, all of those. Sometimes I'll see people put them up and they just look really good. And I got this one that was like $1,000 of asset packs for like $20. It is all like sci-fi and space stuff. And that is absolutely things that we'll be using for these projects. So.
Okay, that's the Humble Bundle link. Okay, sick.
Yeah, if any of the Unreal people know of Argonian. Oh man, what is his
Spring Essentials? Okay. Oh shit, this is huge. There's 53 fucking items in here.
Where? That's in Discord.
Yeah, community Discord and general game dev. Unreal Toolkit.
See.
Why am I hearing an echo? Is it just us again?
I hear it too. I think it's Vince coming through his own mic though.
Get it together, Vince.
Oh yeah, these are cool as hell. This is awesome.
I'm a mess today.
Yeah, so I mean, stuff like this, we definitely in all game devs should be just stack this shit up. It's there's no reason you shouldn't use it, and it can help you just practice and put things together. If you look at my Unreal library here, this is another thing I kind of showed off on the stream I think 2 weeks ago, but yeah, like Vince said, every month the Epic Games Marketplace gives away 5 items for free, and they're usually pretty good. And you just get to keep them forever once you add them to the cart and check out, and it's $0, and you just build up a collection like this. And I guarantee this collection is probably well worth over $20,000 at this point, because I've been trying to be very consistent about collecting them for as long as I've been doing Unreal. And I've bought a few of these things, and there's some really good ones like Blockout Tools and Blueprint Assist and stuff. But a majority of what you see here, a vast majority, I got for free. So the pack that I'm showing back here right now is, what's it called?
Real quick, John from YouTube, you need to take a shot because we said echo again.
Anybody got John's shot counter up? Yeah, so this is the pack that I'm showing back here right now. So we had just bought this when we were early on making weird candy because it had some cool stuff in it, and we just wanted to use it to kind of establish some look and feel type stuff. Hopefully this is loaded. Yeah, so you can see here every single one of these little curved guys is a different particle effect that you can take and use in your projects, and they all have lots of properties that you can adjust to make them behave differently and stuff. And yeah, so this is where we kind of started. The main thing that we were really needing out of this pack was the black hole. So I believe that's this guy right here, and you'll see if I hit the sim button, that should start playing. And yeah, that's the foundation of that black hole that we were showing in the other project. But we obviously took a lot of the debris and the bright sparks and stuff. We removed that from it because we're in space, and that stuff shouldn't be falling with gravity and all of that fun stuff. So
yeah, I was gonna say we used a lot of shit out of this pack for
yeah, we've
many
used
things. This one was
tons of
really
stuff
good.
out of here otherwise too, and there's just really cool shit in this pack. So if I go back all the way to the beginning, like you could use these for like bullet hits,
This
and
is
other
really cool.
impacts and stuff like that. You see there's like a blood smoke one right here, and crazy like sparks that bounce around on the ground. And then you have smoke and steam, and you have all sorts of cool, crazy sparks. And these are all Niagara systems, so they tend to be fairly performant and kind of easy to work with once you understand the systems a little bit. This one has always been kind of a particular favorite of mine. I think it looks really cool. And then you have those big explosion things. There's lots of explosions here for all sorts of different types of things that you might need. There's falling dust and rock. There's lightning, crazy tornado. There's these like teleporter curtain things. This one's sponsored by Sony, apparently. Yeah, laser fences, these holograms. I think we kind of based our hologram bubble thing kind of off of how this works, but it's not exactly the same. They got cool lasers, blood. Yeah, this is probably actually how we did it back here, now that I look at it again. But yeah, so, and just tons of cool stuff. So this pack, again, was $10 or $15. I remember when we bought it. Tons of utility in here. I don't know if any of this would actually make it to a retail game that we shipped, but it would be very helpful for us in just kind of communicating our vision to either an artist who would be kind of replicating this type of thing for us more in the style of the game, or just to somebody who we wanted to either invest or help us publish or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. The asset packs are just super valuable for the process and just like creating stuff. So yeah, it's good.
So there is that. No, I'm just kind of killing time here. If anybody has questions, you guys want to see anything specific, Vince, if you have anything you want me to pull up specifically, I can do that. But otherwise, I'm just going to kind of keep jumping.
Yeah, if you want to poke around for a minute. So we got a bunch of new people. You guys are great. We do things all over the place here. This is mostly just an open door to our studio. Interact with the two co-founders, interact with the people who are making games that you like. If you want to learn how to make games in Unreal, if you want to learn how to make games, what the process is, what the best tools are, get tips. If you want to level up your live stream, if you have technology questions, all of that stuff is like fair game for our streams. Typically on Thursdays.
Horse and cow feces photo scan in this asset pack.
Oh God. I mean, that's probably worth the bundle buy right there,
Oh yeah, I mean, you got that and, Yard Plants Volume 10, good to go.
Yard plants, yo. But yeah, so we typically on Thursdays we end up playing games with you guys. So far, what we've been doing is playing V Rising. We have a community server for V Rising up. It is up 24/7. So if anybody in chat wants to come join our Discord and then ask for creds to get in and play V Rising. So holler at us there if you want to hop in. Tony's showing off the coin pusher that we talked about earlier. So this is one of the things that he built in Unreal and integrated with our Twitch chat using channel points. So do you have it where it can be hooked up to chat right now, Tony, or no?
Yeah, I just was trying to figure out
Guys,
why
wait.
weird.
Sorry to interrupt. Look what
Oh
just
shit,
came
unboxing. Let's go.
Oh shit, let's go.
I'm so excited.
If you guys weren't here when we
Fucking
talked about it, Vince and I
Where am I
sent
at?
Christina this Oculus Quest 2 today because, as we've been talking about, we're going to start leaning into the VR stuff again here pretty hard, and we want her to be able to contribute.
Hold on.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, Christina, there was also a request to show the cat. She has more than one.
Where are my cats? I don't even know where they are. Hold on. I'm wielding a knife.
Yeah, they're also like chill right now, so you probably don't want to rile them.
Yeah, for once they're not screaming, so I'm kind of just leaving them alone. But if you go to our Discord, there's a pets only channel and you can see lots of pictures. It's actually Luna's 3rd birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thanks. All right. How do I open this?
Wait a minute. Isn't it someone else's birthday too that I know? Interesting. I'm not going to say who.
Whose birthday is it?
Yeah, I don't know if I know.
Maybe someone in chat.
Whose birthday is
Happy
it?
birthday, whoever in chat it is.
Unless it's tomorrow and I just fucked it up, but whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Not a fractal stream if Vince doesn't dox someone. I'm not going to mention who.
Fair.
Give away their first
Yeah.
date of
Wait,
birth.
Josh, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. I'm sorry I was so mean to you on your
Yeah,
birthday.
this is his birthday. That's why he's getting wild. It's his birthday.
If I knew it was your birthday, I would have been nicer. This is cool.
He said it's okay. I was mean too.
Not really. Gonna have to try harder than that.
Ridiculous. Okay, here. Why
Am
is
I
it-
like a real streamer now because I'm doing an unboxing?
Yeah, you didn't show like
here, let
the,
me-
the box and like
I'll
all the
put you up
things in it,
big.
though.
while
I
it-
showed the
while
box.
it's going here.
Hold on. What am I don't know how to do this. I'm not like a
Yeah,
YouTuber.
you have to like put it back in the box and then like show us what
Oh.
it looks like when you like
Okay.
open the box. You know,
Hold on.
it doesn't
I-
fucking matter. Honestly, Christina, you don't need to do that.
I'm doing it. All right.
Okay. It's actually a
we do
nice
it?
box, I think. Of
It's a
like
very
product
nice
boxes, this is a nice box.
Okay. Can I take it out now? Is that allowed?
Yes.
That's what she said. Okay, cool.
Oh shit.
Love it.
This is fun. Okay, and
Yeah,
then I
Josh said
have
you can't wear it with your hat though.
You don't need to
Boom.
bother like putting it on yet. We'll walk
Well,
you
yeah,
through
I
after
haven't put it
stream.
on
Yeah.
but like I have these guys too. This is fun.
I
have-
love how wild chat is today. You guys are great. This is the wildest chat
Okay,
has
I'm
been.
like so blind I can't read this. That's hilarious. Cool. I'm excited.
Burnout is really sad that he's not here for Chaos Chat in Fractal Grove. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, he missed a good one.
Yeah. This is like exactly Burnout style. He really wants to be here just saying shit. I'm trying to summon him by
something's
saying his
missing.
name. We're Burnout for real. Oh shit, like integrate the hat into the head strap, Paladin. So like
There you go.
put
Yeah.
the
totally.
goggles on and then the hat, like okay.
Well, yeah, I could put my hat over the headset.
Wait, Omni, when did he hop on Discord and play music for an hour? Was it just you
He
chilling
did?
and he hopped in and played guitar for you?
Oh, Tony, I
Classic.
told Burnout yesterday that he is allowed one comment with his music.
Yeah, he can
He gets one
send us
free
a link.
pass.
Sure. I don't give a shit about that.
That's amazing,
Up to you
Omni.
guys.
What is this thing?
That's a
the-
separate
The
gasket.
gasket that goes around your face.
Here, I'll show you, Christina. If you look, I'm breaking shit, but yeah, it's this rubber thing here.
It's so if you like have somebody
Oh.
over and they want to wear it, you don't have to share your face grease with them. They can have their own face grease and you have your own face grease.
And
Oh,
you
it's like
can
a
you can
condom.
clean this. Yeah, so it sits on the edge, like
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
we're excited too. It's gonna be fucking sick. So we got to get you on Walkabout,
Can't put it back in the box.
and we need to have a meeting in Walkabout.
Yep. If anybody in chat has a VR headset and you guys want to play mini golf with us sometime, we like to do that a lot.
Yeah, Walkabout mini golf is really good, really really good.
And if you haven't played it, you definitely should.
It did not
50 Shades
include a
of
bar
VR
for that.
mask. What are you guys even on about right now, chat?
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna get us back to here. This one.
It did not include a barf bag, Omni.
We're gonna try really hard not to make any barfing happen. So
We definitely don't want barfing to occur.
all right.
Yeah,
so
once was enough.
Let's go.
I also feel like I traumatized both of you when I played Portal, so
No, you didn't traumatize us. We traumatized you.
I don't know. I was pretty mean to Tony that day.
I'm not scared of you. It's fine.
That's offensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, uh-oh, maybe don't say that. She's gonna come for you now.
Okay, I did turn the channel points rewards on. You guys can throw shit at the coin pusher if you want to.
So, chat, use your channel points. They will affect the thing on screen right now, the coin pusher, which is really cool.
Yep, so you'll see if I, man, I don't know why my font broke. That's why you're seeing all these like winding bullshits, but
Oh, that's sick, dude. Like fucking Eldritch text, man.
I guess
Arcane
yeah.
runes.
Nice.
Up here it's supposed to give me like a connection status. There's a Node.js server that kind of lives between Unreal and Twitch and Discord and all of that and kind of orchestrates everything that's going on, but this should be giving me like a connection status. This is saying that we're live on Twitch right now, and it should have how long we've been live before it or after it. Down here is just like a log of all of the OSC commands that are coming from that server to Unreal to make all of this stuff happen.
Tony, we got 10 subs and 3 new follows, I think,
All right.
since
Nice.
stream started. So if you want to throw some like,
So I'm gonna put
some
three.
We're the
bricks
big
in there or
boys.
whatever.
We got 3 crystals on here for the follows, and then we're gonna do 10 big boys for the subs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I saw like 4 fall, so I'll keep going. There we go.
11 subs? Oh boy.
All right.
Oh yeah, because Anna had to beat Paladin on the top gifted. Sick. By the way,
Oh,
Artificial Sky, you have been knocked off the top spot by Anna and Paladin. Both of them have beaten you on gifted subs. Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah. Wait, what? Anna has the train emote, bro, or train badge.
I will say
Plus
this
1
about all of
million.
you guys, and this
No.
primarily applies to Artificial Sky. Behind the scenes, this tracks everything that you guys do a little bit better than Twitch does. So we do have a running tally of every gift that Artificial Sky has ever given. So we'll have to go back and check the numbers on that and stuff. But that also includes the coins that you guys put on the board, the channel points you spend, and all of that. And really, the only
Oh my
reason for all of that
God.
is
Jesus
so that we
Christ,
can
Artificial
reward the fucking
Holy
Chad
shit.
like Artificial
Thank you, bro.
Sky who are
That's
literally
insane.
carrying the team. Like
The hype
you're
is
the reason that we
crazy.
get back
bro.
on
I
every
was
week,
just fucking
and-
with you. Thank
oh
you,
my
man.
God. Damn, dude.
Okay, who wanted to see cats? I'm sorry, she's gonna run out of my
Oh,
hand.
Chalupa.
Here's a cat.
All right, cat is reward for stream.
Here, I could probably hold up a
for,
Shiba Inu too if I try.
for subs.
Handler.
Yeah, get a sheep. Bring a sheep.
Come here.
I'm sad. Now I'm like, oh, what's up, Waffly Barrel? Sorry, I saw your follow come through. Thank you for following, and thank you for chatting, and thank you for celebrating your gift sub from Artificial Sky.
Okay, here you go. This is
Look
Chandler.
at the boy.
Aww, puppy.
Chan's great.
He's a good
What
boy.
a cutie pie.
He's like, I'm very confused. Why are you holding me this high, Dad?
I think Mochi came down too. Let me see if I can get him.
Yeah, get the mochi too. Chandler's very shy and quiet, and Mochi just shrieks and is a maniac.
Oh, that's like my cats. Oh,
Here's Mochi.
hello, puppy.
Mochi's
Thank
very
you.
fun. He gets very excited and he wants to chew on your hand when he meets you.
Aw.
Mochi gets so excited when Vince comes over. That's
Oh
just-
He's
shit.
like,
Anna was like, "Oh,
Oh my
no,
god, guys.
not in my
Anna!
house."
my God.
yo, let's go!
You guys
Dude,
are ridiculous.
We
this
got
is a
5 more,
crazy
dude. You
thing
guys,
today.
like you guys have like doubled our sub count just today. This
Oh
is
my
crazy.
God.
You guys are nuts.
Way more than double. Way
Yeah,
fucking
way more. What are we
Oh
even
my
fucking
God.
at right now? Hold on.
You
Hold
guys
on.
are
hold,
crazy
Hold the
for
fuck
this.
on, you guys.
You know what's wild? I'm literally never in Thursday chats, but we switched around the order,
Right?
and
I was gonna say, we
like,
don't
I almost
usually do
didn't come
anything
to
interesting on Thursdays, so
Yeah,
yeah.
This is like our most banger stream so far. Yeah, this is
No,
great. You guys are
this-
fucking
this
amazing.
deserves
Thank you so
lasers,
much.
actually. So we're lasering.
Level 4 hype
Laser
train. Let's
time.
fucking go.
This is wild.
Okay, so we're
Oh
at.
my god!
You guys just blew up our
Photon.
sub goal. Well, okay, hold on. We started at like 13 or
Holy shit.
14 subs or something like that. We're now at
Dude,
46.
I think we're at 11.
That's crazy.
You guys are insane.
You
I
guys
don't
are
even-
fucking
I don't
insane.
even know what to do.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like what?
Like we.
I
we
don't-
get
I don't
these
know. Where do
fucking
I
goals
go?
out
Where do I
for
put
one
my
day, and you
hands?
guys do this? Like, is this what we were supposed to be doing the whole time?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. This
Is
what
it
we're
because
supposed to do
I
whole
got the
time.
sheeps? Like, I never put them on camera before.
Show
Like,
dog get subs.
Oh my
guys,
god.
you
well,
have
I-
to stop. Oh my god.
I have a very sweet kitty who no longer is alive, so I could bring my cat's ashes over here. But then
Oh my god,
no.
Vince, stop. You just ruined the moment. That's so sad.
I'm sad. Everyone's celebrating pets, and I'm just like, I don't know. The emotions are overwhelming.
Photon.
Oh, Todd, bring out the urn. All right, hold on. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll be right back.
Don't do it, Vince. That's so sad. I will cry on stream. I am an ugly crier. No one wants that. Vince, don't do it.
All right. Let's turn it.
Artificial Sky, that is correct. You do 5 up.
Okay, compromise. Sparkle said, "Don't show the urn," but we commissioned a drawing of the kitty.
Thank God, Sparkle.
So we've got this.
Aw, cutie. That's sweet.
And it's hard to tell, but there's a little plushy zombie there because that was her favorite toy. It was a little zombie that she could like tear apart.
That's really cute.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm telling your wife. Nice. I love it. I'm sorry, guys. My emotions just made everyone sad. God damn it. Thank you, Anna, for another gifted sub. Jesus Christ. Wait,
You
did
guys
you
are
guys donate
ridiculous.
another 10? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put like so
You-
many of these things on the board. It's just yeah.
I don't know what to do. Okay, wait.
All the
I
big
have an
boys.
idea. I have an idea. So we are considering and trying to figure out how to do a t-shirt. And we want to get you guys a good quality blank. Think we want to do something like this, like the logo on it, probably gray. We'll do a version of this, maybe like cyan and pink, but a bunch of shit like that. So grow the beard back. You'll drop another 10, dude. Bet. Seriously, I will. How long do you want me to grow the beard for? 10 subs, Photon. That's up to you. But yeah, so the t-shirt's another thing that we're gonna do. So we'll let you guys know when we get it together. We're talking about details of like drop shipping it right now, but we want to make sure that it's a really high quality blank so that you don't get, like a crappy shirt that like fades or wears out and it's just gonna be trash. So we're working on that. Christina and Tony knows like a bunch of print stuff, so he knows how all that works. Christina worked in fashion and understands textiles and all that shit. So we're gonna get you guys a really good shirt, and we'll let you know when it's up. If you guys want to talk about like what you want to see on the shirt or anything like that, the Discord is a great fucking place for that. So just holler in the Discord and be like, I want this color with this logo. So like, what do you guys? Where do you want those type of posts to be thrown?
Wait, do you actually have a textile science degree?
I do.
Oh shit!
I don't know if I knew that.
I have 2 degrees. One
didn't
is
know that
in
either.
textile science.
Oh, damn.
Cloth scientist.
I'm not a cloth scientist.
Fucking understands a t-shirt on a scientific level.
Literally, yes. Yes.
But yeah, yeah, y'all holler in.
Dude, artificial sky, that's exactly what we talked about, is like metal
Yes.
band shirts being
Yep.
like kind of the goal to work towards, because they actually like take the designs very seriously and try to make them cool and make people want them. So
Like sickest shirt possible, potentially limited run. We wanna make it so that it's a good value to you guys, but also all of the money from any, like, again, streams, donations, merch sales, all that stuff goes straight into the business, because that's how we're trying to fund. We don't want to have to hop in there and like go beg for a crumb of $186 billion industry that doesn't want to fund us. So you guys do, and you guys are fucking awesome. So
yeah,
we want to,
and that money again
want.
is for like storage on our server where we back up our source control, and for the server that runs the Grove Thunder bot that runs this coin pusher and tracks everything that you guys do in chat and all of that. It's 100% just going into that and helping us make all of this stuff better. The VR headset that Christina was showing off, we paid for that out of our pocket because we're trying to move the business forward and stuff like that. But longer term, all of this is just gonna ultimately kind of lend to all of that stuff happening more and better and faster and bigger and all of that.
Speak for yourselves. I'm buying a yacht.
As your friend,
buy a dumb fucking car too, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Also, as your friend, Christina, I will not let you buy a yacht until you literally have the fuck you money to buy a yacht. So
That's
like,
not what we're talking about. Fuck you money from t-shirts.
I don't know. Boats are a stupid spend, honestly.
I would never buy a boat. I get seasick. Big
Yeah,
shock there.
boats, like, you only ever lose, like, you just hemorrhage money owning a boat. So
yeah.
To get this back on topic,
Yeah, sorry.
Noisy Cat, no,
Sorry,
it's cool. Noisy Cat said a triggering phrase for Christina and I right now, which is a marvelous designer.
Yeah.
We had a stream a few weeks ago where Christina wanted to learn metahumans and was asking me about how to put clothes on them and stuff, and that wasn't really a side of things that I had really ever dug into before. But 5.4 has this new chaos cloth thing that I thought looked cool and I wanted to learn. But very quickly I kind of learned about marvelous designer and how important it can be to that whole workflow and how much easier it makes your life when you have it and stuff like that. So unfortunately it's pretty expensive, and I was interested in trying to see if I could accomplish things without using it, and we were ultimately kind of able to get something working. But yeah, that was another one of those learning experiences of just like parts of the engine that I had never ever dug into before and didn't really know anything about before that.
Yeah, it was my first time ever using Unreal Engine, and I was like, I'm going to do a metahuman in Unreal Engine, not even knowing how to zoom in properly. Oh, Tony, by the way, I learned how to zoom in properly today. I taught myself a bunch of Unreal Engine stuff this morning. I don't know why, but I did, and I didn't watch one YouTube tutorial, and I feel very accomplished. Granted, it's basic things, but I felt cool about it. It was fun.
Good shit, dude. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, Noisy Cat, I think there probably are like... Ultimately, what I was able to do is Christina gave me like a Sketchfab model of this like cape thing that she had wanted to put onto a metahuman. And so I was able to kind of get it onto just like a mannequin and run the chaos cloth system over it so that it would kind of like deform with the animations. And it worked pretty good. And the only thing I really had to do that Marvelous Designer probably would have helped with is I had to basically just use the modeling tools to like morph parts of it that were clipping through the mannequin body by default. And I guess with Marvelous Designer, I would have been able to like re-drape it over the skeleton using like a physics sim or something like that. Probably would have looked a little better, but that was kind of, I guess, like the part of the pipeline that was a little difficult right now.
That was Photon's suggestion. You wanted to see Christina, like, you wanted to see the shirt get finalized, and then like have you guys put it on the MetaHuman, which would be cool.
Yeah, and we definitely plan to do that. And yeah, you're kind of calling out the plan here, which is that when we have a shirt designed and we know what we're gonna sell, then we'll probably make some ads and stuff using those metahumans and all of that stuff that we were figuring out. That was kind of the idea. You guys are fucking up this coin pusher too. So
Yeah,
I'm really unhappy right now. It's kind of awesome.
This is great.
I got to drop more coins. Sorry, I'm lagging here.
The coins are almost done in the queue. It's only like 200 left. So
I mean, it hasn't stopped since I turned it on though, and like obviously they're just like completely stuck at the top, and all of that. But yeah, that's awesome. Keep going. I feel like my GPU is like giving out here with all this flashing, but.
Yeah, the cool thing about this is like, so Tony started with this, and then of course he ran into like performance and technical issues with the coins themselves being meshes, and that's why he dove into Neighbor Grid, and then he started developing a bunch of shit in Neighbor Grid and made this crazy ball pit. There was this thing floating around on Twitter for a while that was like, hey, if you're building something, pick a random number or random variable and change it to multiply it by 1,000 and then post your results. And Tony was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And Neighbor Grid was just like, hold my beer. And it just did the, 100,000 fucking things or whatever that you added. That was pretty cool. It cool
yeah, it could spawn 1,000 particles per second without even, skipping a beat. No problem. And then I upped it to 10,000 and it still is mostly fine. Just kind of silly and ridiculous at that point. But
so that's probably like kind of the next steps for the coin pusher is doing like a Neighbor Grid conversion and seeing how that guy goes.
The idea is to turn all of these coins into a particle system, because right now they're all instant static meshes and they hold up to a point. But yeah, we're up to 2,400 on the screen right now, and it probably would be okay if I had a package where we're running Plane Editor right now and I'm streaming and all sorts of stuff off this computer. So it's holding together, but longer term, we've talked about having this be something that just kind of like permanently is live potentially somewhere, or something that operates more like a multiplayer Unreal game where you guys can join into it, and maybe there's like an area where you can stand around and watch while it's happening in real time. We have an area set up in here that's kind of like a filming studio where we plan to ultimately kind of do some mixed reality production type stuff and kind of shoot the stream from there and all sorts of stuff. So this is
like while we're doing VR and stuff. Yeah. I think the other thing that I don't even know if we mentioned it, so I'm just going to say it again. The whole point of this coin pusher is, instead of doing like a poll in Discord or on like Twitch chat or something like that, we would use the coin pusher. So we would be like, we'd have a conversation about what you guys want to see in the coin pusher for goals. We'll have a stream. We'll put the coin pusher up, and then like by the end of stream, if this cyan dodecahedron gets knocked off of the coin pusher, then like Vince grows his beard back, right? Like that's what we want to use it for. So you guys have your channel points and you can do shit like that. We just haven't got a bunch of traction on it yet. So for all you new folks, hop into Discord and start having that conversation. Talk about what you want to see out of the coin pusher, what you want to have like incentives or goals, things that are exciting for you. This in the future could include like a license to one of the games that we produce. It could be a free t-shirt if we get to the point where that makes sense for us to do. Really anything. It could be silly challenges. It could be, on Thursday I want you guys to play Animal Well and do a design review of that. Like that's what this is for, instead of doing the other thing. It's giving you a chance to like gamble and use your channel points and do something with them, because they don't really do anything on Twitch.
And we want the coin pusher itself to be kind of this like progressive thing that evolves and updates and changes over time, and hitting different milestones unlocks a new board or a new feature of the board or something like that. So longer term, we're obviously throwing a lot of stuff kind of against the wall and seeing what sticks right now. But this is one of the ones that we've kind of been doing since the early days of the stream, and people seem to be interested in here and there at least. But we have, to Vince's point, struggled with just kind of like, how do we take this to the next step and make it more interesting, a little more usable. Obviously it's kind of up against its performance and functional limits here with the way that it's operating right now, but yeah, we're kind of ready to move on to a V2 here real soon, I think.
I gotta step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep, no worries. I think I'm actually going to shut this down before my computer catches on fire, and I was just going to show some other stuff on here. So let me turn these rewards back off.
I dropped like all 4,000 of my channel points.
Yep, and that's all tracked, so that goes into your personal ledger and all of that, and we'll know about that when high scores and all of that stuff becomes relevant.
Oh, sweet.
This is to show the neighbor grid thing that we were talking about. So this is a Niagara particle system that has interparticle collisions that are kind of calculated and enabled. And yeah, longer term, we hope to effectively just make the coin pusher into this. And I don't know why it's doing exactly what it's doing right now. They're just rolling through this wall. I might actually just put up the video that I made of this to kind of show what we're talking about. But yeah, ultimately that is the application that we're hoping to kind of use for Niagara to apply to the coins and make them. We should be able to have 100,000 plus on screen and still be able to hit 120 FPS no problem and all of that good stuff. So that has been a big push of ours recently. Just looking for this video that I have of it. I hear a cat.
Nice cat.
Yep,
You
nice.
guys jinxed it. They were so quiet this whole stream. I was so happy because they're always yelling. And now she has started.
Yeah, chat is wild today. It's not the cats.
Yeah.
Mercury must be in Gatorade or something.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're out of Gatorade finally.
Oh yeah, that's right. It just happened, didn't it?
Yeah, April.
Cool. Where are we? What are we looking at? We are time-wise.
I was just gonna put up the I was putting up a video of some neighbor grid stuff, so it would look better than what I had on right here. So
yeah, we're at
the same thing, but yeah.
We're at the end of our stream, so we're probably gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. But yeah, this neighbor grid stuff is super cool. Chat, if you guys have someone you think we should raid, we're really bad at doing that. So suggest someone. We should see if Boom is live. If they're live, we could go, because Boom's raided us a couple times. It'd be cool to give back to Boom.
Totally.
Yeah, let me go look. Let me go see. Who do we have? Who do we have, chat? Let's go here.
Josh is live.
Ooh,
did we raid Josh? Yeah, chat. You want to go watch anime figurines?
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Photon, I don't think we have that power.
Yeah, Photon. No, that's
we're three jabronis over here. We can't get far in North Korea.
Yesterday, we were trying to decide if we should raid Kai Cenat or Amaranth.
Yeah, exactly.
I voted Amaranth. Nobody listened to me.
I mean,
so we're gonna raid anime figurines here in a second. Everybody who's here, you guys are fucking amazing. This is the craziest stream that we have ever had, hands down, no question about it. It has never gone like this before. I don't know why it's happening, but I am not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. You guys are awesome. I really hope you all come back. Next Wednesday we'll be doing another dev stream similar to the one today. Thursday we'll be probably playing a game or something like that, but we're very active on the Discord. Make sure you guys get in there. We like to hang out with you guys. We like to talk and discuss all of this fun stuff, and yeah, just get into all sorts of cool things. So
we were hanging out in Discord playing V Rising last night for like 6 hours. So if we only stream 4 hours a week. It's 2 hours Wednesday, 2 hours Thursday. So it can be a little tricky to catch us live, but we're always in the Discord, and the same policies are all, available there. If you want to ask questions about Unreal, if you want to ask questions about game dev, if you want to ask questions about, anything, or just hang out and just chat and like be homies, like that's also cool. So yeah, come through, everybody. You guys are awesome. And I'd love to hang out with you guys off stream and play some games and stuff. So
thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, otherwise come around next Wednesday, please. And we'll be happy to hang out with you guys again. Have a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna raid anime figurines too. So let's just send him chat. So
yep,
we love you guys.
I'm gonna put us up on the end screen here, and we'll pop him over. So all right,
Thanks,
bye guys. Have a good one.
Love you, bye.
Bye guys. Thank you for everything.